Rocky into the wall. Big crash front straightaway. Huge crash coming into the triangle. No, Rocky up and into the air.
They're beating and banging. Barr on the bottom. Cosman up top.
Kaufman, I think. No. Barr by 1/1000th of a second. Joseph, no. At the line, Thunhorse pulls the win out at the stripe.
Oh, he saves it. What's going to happen here?
Here comes the canvas. Get your foot there. He's got it. He's got it. Canvas is going to win.
FTF.GG welcomes you here to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for, I have no idea what in the world this race is called. It's 167 laps, 400 kilometers here from Las Vegas for the Barr Visual FTF Cup Series. Jacob Pitts here with you for the second week in a row. Caleb Hoffman is not here, and he still cannot figure out how to read a clock. The field is rolling. Let's go through your grid here, and I won't run down through every name, but you'll see it flash across your screen. Brian Mercurio is your pole sitter. Kevin King's on the outside. Michael Rosero, Blake Reynolds, Parker White, Matthew Zwack, Wyatt Tinsley, Matt Danson, Nate Stewart, Nathan Rabideau rounding out your top 10. This is part of a new round for the playoffs. 8 drivers remain. Nate Stewart, Brian Mercurio, Blake Reynolds, Kevin King, Michael Cozy Jr., who is using a provisional for tonight, Kevin McAdams, Wyatt Tinsley, and Brandon Hawken. Hawken, of course, won his way in after the Roval. That was the last chance that he had after missing the other 2 races that were in the round. He was able to make his way in, and he will still continue to try and race for a championship, just 15 points back from the cut line. Kevin King currently is the cut line at +3. They'll be fighting for stage points since stage points reset at every round along the way from here to the championship, so they have goose eggs across the board as far as stage points are concerned, and we'll see what happens here from Vegas. Glad you're watching. Brian Mercurio, Kevin King, bring us down. Green flag. Kevin King will lead lap 1 by a fender. It was, who in the world was that started from the pit lane? Tyler Stillwell did not make the grid, so he is now onto the racetrack after starting from the pit lane. Mercurio back out in front. Michael Rosero trying to take over the second spot away from Kevin King. Blake Reynolds sits in the 4th spot. Ryan Doucette all the way up toward the outside wall. Back here with Blake Bryant and Nathan Rabideau, as well as Malik Ray. That's around the 10th spot. Set keeps going around that outside. Gets alongside Bryant, and now his teammate Matt Danson. The end of lap 40 is the end of stage number 1. Set still making that outside line work. He's gotten by Reynolds. He's into the top 5. He is P4. And clicking off some of the fastest laps of the race so far. Matthew Zwack, connection issues continue for him. He had them right at the end of qualifying or at the end of warm-up, and he has them again right now. He has fallen out of the session. He was back in the 39th position at the time as they approach 5 laps complete. Comes Doucette around the outside for second. He's got it. And now looking for the lead, and that's 77. Rolling up on that outside line, and here comes the Altus Esports car up on the outside for the lead. Side by side for the 6th position, Wyatt Tinsley and Parker White. Wheel to wheel going down into turn number 1. Blake Bryant right behind them. You got Blake Reynolds right in front. And here comes White up on the outside trying to get by Blake Reynolds. It really seems like that outside line is been the line to work for some of these guys. We saw it work for Doucette, and now Parker White taking advantage of it. He'll leapfrog Kevin King and fall to 4th. Let's ride on board with Brett Punkari if we can. He's given us an onboard camera tonight from Las Vegas. He is back right now in the 36th position, 2.5 behind Andy Margot. About a battle for 15th. Michael P. Frisch getting by Chris Wetz going into turn number 1. Got a line of cars in front of him here that are nose to tail, starting with Kevin King, and you got some playoff drivers in there. King, Reynolds, Nathan Rabideau in that mix, Nate Stewart as well, Brandon Hawken. All just stuck together and trying to break through. Ten laps are complete. Again, the end of lap 40. End of stage number 1. Hello to Brian Hicks, who is on the all-team chat in the server. Hopefully he's not spotting for anybody. Although he probably is. How about Jordan Worth? Go figure. Worth right now is back in the 18th position. Scotty Smith in front of him. David Cabrera behind him. Only driver with a spotter. Not sure Jordan is somebody that would need a spotter, but nonetheless, he has one just in case. Tyler Williams, Ethan Quarter, they are not here, so they are gone. And of course, Zwack has his connection issues, so he's trying to work on that. Now, I just heard Ryan Doucette come over the radio and say his right front tire is melting, so maybe that outside line abusing the right front just a little bit. As you see, gaggle of cars back here coming off turn number 2, and that's a battle for 25th position. 26th, Robert Dorman, Jonathan Oates, Ryan Pandicio, Philip McCandless right up the road. Somebody just about wrecked it there. Who in the world is that? Coming off turn 4. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Battle for the lead. Here's Mercurio. And he takes the lead. Barrow takes the second spot away. We have a battle for 13th. Nathan Rabideau's up the hill, losing some spots. Only battle on the racetrack. Great little onboard shot there as it gets passed by Ryan Naraki. Good battling further behind. This is back around McCandless. Devin Mistak is there. Matt Spalding, Jake Poole. Got a battle for 28th. Oh, there's a more important battle. Parker White trying to get around Doucette for the 4th position. And now here comes Blake Reynolds underneath to try and get at least 1 spot, if not 2. And Blake Bryant upset 3 wide back here, dancing. Leek Ray. Side by side, Doucette and Danson. It's P9. Yeah, Nate Stewart entering the picture there, and Brandon Hawken, a couple of playoff guys right in the mix. Caution free so far through these first 22 laps. Kevin King now your race leader. Not sure how we missed that, but we did. Just taking it because he's now out in front of McCurry. Broken right front suspension and a meatball. We stay green. And Nate Stewart wants a caution, but I don't see a reason for why. I mean, it's a hell of a hit, but this isn't NASCAR. We don't throw cautions for, you know, questionable thing. All right, well, 26 laps are complete. Zach's having a whale of a time right now. Hello? You haven't missed a damn thing these last 3 laps that we've been in and out here on FTF.GG. Kevin King is your race leader. Everybody is spread out. Nate Stewart is still broken and still on the pit lane. Again, he has a meatball flag, and he is likely done for the night. A massive blow for Nate Stewart, who's now pretty much going to be in a win and you're in scenario going into Homestead next week, Martinsville in 2 weeks. How about the battle for second? Blake Reynolds and Brian Mercurio. Nate Stewart still unhappy. Nate, if you're with us, you want to pop in for an interview, by all means. Be the first person to speak other than me tonight. Be glad to have you.
You know, bounced off Hawken and got sent back up into me. You know, these guys just have no respect for you. I'm pretty pissed off right now, to say the least.
Obviously, you've got Martinsville, you've got Homestead left on the year. You came in atop the point standings with the 40-point gap to the line. Obviously, that's going to shift after tonight, even if you are able to pick up a couple of spots because of some incidents. What's this? How is this going to affect how you're going to race these next 2 races?
These next 2 races are just going to have to be, you know, I have to go for the win. I really, really like Homestead. I did really well there in the College Series race, so I'm hoping to, you know, use that momentum and what I learned from that to go run well in Homestead. And then, you know, I absolutely adore Martinsville. It's one of my most favorite tracks on the service. So just got to be aggressive, but, you know, just not too aggressive. It's just unfortunate. Just thank you to my sponsors, Apex Action Photography, Rexford Engineering, Digital Chumps, Speed Vision, Score, everyone that supported me. And, you know, hopefully this isn't the end of our run. I should have Rookie of the Year locked up, and that's the big thing, but I still want to make that Final Four.
Any shot of getting back out on the racetrack tonight?
Yeah, we have about 10 minutes left in repairs, and, you know, I'm just going to go out there and putt around and try to recover what I can, because it's FTF. You never know what will happen.
All right, thanks, Nate. Best of luck.
Thank you.
That's Nate Stewart, one of your playoff drivers involved in an accident here early on, did not bring out a caution. And you heard bits and pieces of this conversation there as OBS continues to just crap the bed. We've got 5 laps to go here in stage number 1 already. Kevin King is your leader. He's got 0.4 of a second over Blake Reynolds. Mercurio's 3rd. Malik Ray is 4th. Wyatt Tinsley now in the 5th spot. And I saw Michael Rozzero about drop it a lap or 2 ago on the front straightaway, but other than that, things have been going just fine on the racetrack. Congratulations to the Houston Astros and Seattle Mariners. They've played 2 baseball games today for the price of 1. They're going to the 18th inning. It's 0-0. Houston wins that game, they win the series, and will move on to the ALCS. If they don't, then this series goes to an excruciating Game 4, which means that the Seahawks will play starting at like 5:20 tomorrow because Seattle. In other news, the Phillies won. Big fan. They move on to the NLCS, and they will play the winner of the Padres-Dodgers series. That game, I believe, is still in a rain delay. No, they actually just started in the top of the 1st inning. Hearing some people pitting, but frankly, I don't care. We've got 2 laps to go. Somebody just murdered the cone. That's Matt Spalding with no regard for cone life. He's got a black flag. Meanwhile, we're 2 to go in the stage, so I don't understand how that's legal. Nonetheless, Kevin King is your leader. We've got one crashed on the back straightaway. We do. It's Rosero. Rosero has crashed coming off turn number 2. He spun in the racing line coming off the corner, but there is still no caution. We are still green. And as much as I thought that should have been a caution, it's the last lap in the stage, and it keeps things moving. Now the caution's out. I don't know what is going on. They wrecked again, I think, in turn 1. Yes, Lucas Plessel has crashed. They were 3 wide, and he junked Spencer Ray. And now we have our first caution. And just when I thought Justin made the right decision in keeping this thing moving. So Spencer Ray's got a meatball. Kevin King wins the stage, gets the playoff points that he desperately needs to try and keep his playoff championship bids alive. We're under caution. The stage is done. We're stepping aside, and I won't complain if we never come back. We're on FTF.gg. Let's take a look at the replay that brought out the caution flag. Jake Poulin's taking a nap by the choose cone, or well, I don't know what the hell that is. Nonetheless, this is the what should have been caution with Rosero. Just gets loose, slaps the wall, almost flips it, and spins. This was not the caution. This was not the caution. I don't know where he's going or who that is. It's Lane Tidwell. All right. And then here is the actual cause for the caution. Spencer Ray not paying attention. They're 3 wide. He drifts up into Lane Tidwell and winds up in the outside wall. Michael Rosero has crashed. Lucas Plessel, not Lane Tidwell. And we're only coming to 1 to green right here. Everybody choosed while we were away. Spencer Ray has parked it. Lane Tidwell still has a black flag. What's coming up on FTF? Stuff and things and stuff. How about that? Take a look. Martinsville tomorrow. Winstell. Good luck. Simcar Thursday. Nuremberg. We're back a week from tonight from Homestead. Then Winstill again. Can I talk about this? Autobahn, new thing to FTF. That makes its debut Monday, October 24th at 9:15 from Daytona, the road course. And then Martinsville and Phoenix for FTF. And that's it. All right. Pace cars in. We are in stage 2. Kevin King, your stage 1 winner. Green flag. Chris Wetz has a black flag. It's cleared. Somebody is way off the pace. Alex Little with a little bit of an issue. It's just not going back there in that Tony Stewart machine. Here comes Wyatt Tinsley rocketing up the outside. Saw the outside line work early on a run, but it just abused the right front tire. And, oh man, he about wrecked himself off of Blaze Bryant. Or Blake Bryant, I can read. Here comes Jordan Worth around the outside of David Cabrera. You know what? Let's ride on board. Let's ride on board with Jordan Worth and let him take us around the racetrack for a couple laps. Behind Kevin. Big battle up front. Blaze Bryant, now your leader. Got out there, and it's turned into a pack race. How about 3 wide up on the outside? Here comes David Cabrera. 3 wide, almost gets put into the fence by Nathan Rabideau. Oh, for the lead. Cabrera down to the inside. Can't quite get it done. Bryant shuts the door. Try the outside, and that's going to open up the door for Kevin King. Already won stage number 1. He backs off, though, before he gets to the corner. And David Cabrera around the outside takes the race lead away. Oh my gosh, the Astros scored. It's 1-0 in the top of the 18th. Cabrera is long gone. We're 3 wide back here further in the pack. Again, stage 2 ends here at about lap 80 here from Las Vegas. Still side by side back here. Mercurio, Rabideau, Ryan Doucette, Collinix has joined the picture. Jordan Worth, who we rode on board with there. Rocky, Parker White. Yankee 500 winner. No, that was 600. Yankee 600 winner. Philip Cecil McCandless there in that 109. Right behind him. You only have 111 more laps. Comes Malik Ray to the inside. Reynolds. Ray and Tinsley side by side. That's for 5th. David Cabrera has a 1.5 second lead over Blake Bryant. Kevin King sits in 3rd. Blake Reynolds is all over him, 4th. And you've got Malik Ray in 5th, Wyatt Tinsley 6th, Ryan Doucette 7th, Rabideau is 8th, Jordan Worth is 9th, Alex Collinix is 10th, and you can see that battle right there from about 9th on back, right in the center of your picture. 3 wide back here, at least for the moment. Parker White comes in trying to save the day. He will get by that 93. They're in the middle of the 18th inning in Seattle. Mariners need 2 runs to win, 1 to keep this game going. If they score no runs, the Houston Astros are going back to the ALCS, and every reasonable person in the United States vomits at the thought of it. In the meantime, we're coming to 5 to go. Nope, I can't do math. 15 to go in stage 2. Matt Spalding is apparently warping. A good battle back here, though. Rabideau and Jordan Worth. Got Kevin McAdams right behind. Brandon Hawken is there. You got Mercurio and Kalnick side by side. This is 10th position on back. And Brian Hicks is trying his best to spot for Jordan Worth and asked Kevin if he could let Jordan in. So Kevin promptly fills the gap on the outside and does not let him fit in. Incredible. And Brian Hicks is up. Scotty Smith was in this race at one point, but he has now fallen out of the session. So he is currently out of this race. So depending on how long he is out, that could be a spot for Nate Stewart to try and pick up. As after the damage he sustained, he is back on the racetrack. He is some 22 laps down in the 37th position. Out in front of Michael Rosero, Spencer Ray, and Matthew Zwack. Scotty Smith 10 laps ahead of the Nate Stewart machine. For the lead, there goes Kevin King by Blake Bryant. And the David Cabrera reign is over. He's been drop kicked back to 5th. And Blake's going to follow him. So Kevin King, Blake Reynolds, Malik Ray, your top 3 with 9.5 to go here in stage 2. Got a single car in the wall somewhere. Thanks, Justin. I don't know who it is, but we keep on rolling. Brandon Hawkins slowly but surely making his way up toward the front. He's now in 12th. You saw a car on pit road. That's Devin Mistack. Art Reimer's off the pace. And the baseball game is over. Mercurio is in the wall on the back straightaway. He made contact with Brandon Hawkins. Some damage to the right side of both of those race cars. They were battling for 11th. The baseball game is over. It started, I think, at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And now at 10:30 on the Eastern Seaboard, in 18 innings, the Houston Astros beat the Seattle Mariners 1-0 and are headed to the ALCS. Whoop-a-dee-a-doo. Two more games still yet going on. Yankees lead the Guardians 5-3, top of the 8th. In Cleveland, that series tied at 1. Top of the 2nd in San Diego. No score there. They started late because of a rain delay. They were supposed to start some 2 hours ago. Padres lead that series 2-1. If they win tonight, they'll play the Phillies in the NLCS. 5 to go in stage 2. And I don't know when we turned into Sports Center, but here we are. David Cabrera and Philip McCandless back here with the battle. That's for 10th. No, about 8th. Three to go. We're in the buffer here for stage 2. Say what? Oh my, okay. College game day with a bold decision to go to Oregon next week. Of course, I got to see what all's happening next week. They could have gone to Syracuse, Clemson, but they decided against it. They could have gone to Texas, Oklahoma State, but they decided against it. Whatever. Coming to the last lap here. Stage 2. Kevin King is your leader. Blake Reynolds is second. Blake Ray sits third. And Blake Reynolds may have a shot here at this stage win. We're on the last lap. Here he goes around the outside. Can he get to the corner? No. He'll try it again in 3 and 4. All over the back bumper. To the inside. Erects. Blake Reynolds throws away a second place stage finish. Single car down in the apron. Back up into traffic. Everybody going to avoid him. Kevin King's going to win the stage. Blake Reynolds just trashed away 9 playoff points with that move down the back straightaway and will finish 16th. We keep on rolling. No cautions for the end of the stage. Nate Stewart has parked it. So has, well, Ben Biller wasn't in the session, so it doesn't matter. But we'll go to a break. Kevin King, your leader. battle for the lead as folks are pitting to, well, they need tires, they need fuel. Kevin King will be pitting this time by, so Malik Ray, as long as he doesn't pit, will take the lead. As there goes Kevin King. He'll come to pit road. Alex Kolnix is talking over the radio. That's because he crashed. He did the same thing that happened to Blake, where he wrecked it halfway down the backstretch, slammed into the outside wall, and then about wrecked trying to rejoin the racetrack. Art Reimer has a meatball flag. He is in his pit box and has been for a couple of laps now. What happened to the 43, it was while we were at break. He wound up hitting the outside wall down the back straightaway, and he has a broken race car and a broken suspension, so he has to suffer with that. Malik Ray is on pit road, your race leader, as is Parker White and everybody else, and I mean everybody else is on pit road. Kevin King is leaving pit road right now. He is your race leader. As there's Parker White and there's Malik Ray. So Kevin King takes over the lead, and he's got a considerable gap over Malik Ray. We are past halfway. 80 laps to go. Make it 79. Matt Spalding is parked the car. He is done. And I'm close to being in the same boat. .90 laps will be complete here this time by. Here comes Malik Ray on those lap fresher tires. Blows by Wyatt Tinsley, trying to bring the 77 Orion Doucette with him, and he will. They're now just 2 car lengths back from the 29 of Kevin King. Here comes Ray to the outside. And new leader put the 700. 7 of Malik Ray out in front here at Las Vegas. Wow. Caleb still can't read a clock.
It's been a day, Jacob. How are we doing?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, sorry to be joining us so late, but having some crazy action going on up front.
See if any of these tires for the guys that pitted earlier just by a lap will hang in there. That includes well, Doucette and King. They're on the same lap old tires. Wyatt Tinsley, Blake Bryant, Brandon Hawken, his tires are a couple laps older. Actually, same thing with Bryant. Mercurio's are 6 laps old. Cabrera's are 9 old. And then you've got Malik Ray and Parker White, pitted 5 laps ago.
Yeah, I mean, just past halfway right now. You gotta wonder if you're somebody like Kevin King, Wyatt Tinsley, Brandon Hawk, one of these guys right here, if you're thinking about trying to do some wacky strategy or something. Try to get past guys like Malik Ray, Ryan Doucette.
Only one caution so far tonight. That came from the crash between Lucas Plessel and Spencer Ray. Ray is out of the race, and obviously some championship implications with Nate Stewart crashing the lap prior. Did not bring out a caution. He is now out of the race, and he will finish unofficially in the 37th position.
And I mean, you got to think that puts him in a must-win going in later this season. Next week at Homestead, then after at Martinsville, which are two very grueling tracks.
Well, I know that when we talked with Nate Stewart after the crash, he said, you know, he felt good for Homestead. He felt good there in the College Series, so thinks that'll carry over well. And he said Martinsville's one of his best racetracks. So we've seen him win already this year. You know, in a clutch moment to lock himself into the next round, and he came into today leading the points. But that will be shaken up a good bit here, and he'll likely be on the outside looking in with Michael Cozy Jr. Remember, Cozy taking the last place provisional for tonight. I believe he is currently on a plane somewhere on his trek back to the States after being down under.
And I mean, that's really tough for Nate Stewart, who had a lot of momentum coming off the win just a few weeks ago, and coming in tonight first in points. And now he's got an uphill battle for the next two races. Him and Cozy for sure. Good night for Wyatt Tinsley and Brandon Hawken, who are coming into tonight 7th and 8th, and they're having good outings. Kevin King, who came in 3 above, excuse me.
Oh. I don't know what Justin's doing on the racetrack. He qualified 11th, but he's race control, so he didn't race. And now he's on the racetrack. I guess you have the luxury of doing this when you own the league. But yeah. And now he's been caught, so he'll bring it to pit road and park it and be done for the night. Justin Malillo, everybody.
To start and park. Now we can say he's 96 laps down. It'll be an official start. You get one spot.
There's a good gaggle of cars back here. Michael P. Frisch in the thick of it. Remember, he got eliminated from the playoffs after the Roval. Got some traffic in front of him there. Kevin McAdams, Jonathan Oates, and more.
McAdams trying to push by Jonathan Oates here. And now he's going to have his sights set on Matt Danson right in front of him, breaking into the top 11.
Wyatt Tinsley starting to close in on 5th place. That's Kevin King. A couple car lengths between the two, but Tinsley has cut that gap down under 2/10 of a second.
Yeah, really desperate to try to get Kevin King. Once again, Kevin King was the cutoff driver coming into tonight, the opening round, this round. And just seeing a lot of these guys kind of in just their little zones, little bubbles. See Kevin King and Wyatt Tinsley are together. Here, I believe that's Matt Danson with Jonathan Oates, 14th. Kevin got around him. On back to Jordan Worth.
How about the battle for second? Set Parker White.
And you see, using that momentum on the outside, they're side by side now down the back stretch. And that's not even going to be a challenge for Parker White as he now sets his sights on Malik Ray for the lead. See if he can cut down that almost 4/10 gap.
No real good battles on the racetrack right now. Yeah, there is nothing. That might be the closest thing up there at the front. Either that or the battle, quote unquote, with Kevin King and Wyatt Tinsley. And Malik's clutching into the corners. Let's ride on board here, see if we can listen in. What driver number 7's doing.
Thinking just a little. And yeah, I mean, that's trying to save fuel. I mean, you don't really have any challenge right now from Parker White. So, I mean, why not use that gap to your advantage? And just a little bit, but Malik's still getting a better drive off. Duck down underneath some lap traffic.
Good battle. Fresh McAdams back here. It's 11th. David Cabrera's in there as well. Devin Mistack has parked it. He's done.
Ooh, way up against the wall for Cabrera. Getting out of these two. And now Kevin McAdams finds himself inside the top 10. About a second gap to Blake, his fellow playoff driver in front. Gonna see a fair amount of shuffling in points if we stay like we are now. I mean, the only two guys in the top 10 right now, Brian Mercurio and Blake Reynolds, they were above the cut line, but everybody else, every other playoff driver was on the inside looking out.
Battle for 6. Hawken and Mercurio.
Side by side here. Mercurio's just going to drive it in. Yep, getting in front of Brandon Hawken there. Nice clean pass. Good showing for Brian Mercurio. And you can see Wyatt Tinsley going on, I believe it's Kevin King in front for these two.
No, that's Robert Dorman, a lap car. King has actually pulled away by a little bit. The gap's now 4/10 of a second. Battle for the lead, though. Parker White is in the tire tracks of Malik Ray.
Might lose the lead right now, but I mean, if you're Malik Ray and you're able to save some fuel out of here, then I'd consider that a win for you. So Parker White all over that rear bumper as they go into turn number 1. Just really aggressive right now from Malik Ray. Come to expect anything else, though, they're going to try to get around some more lap traffic. You see Ryan Doucette trying the high line behind him. He's going to get a little loose off the corner. Now Parker White. Really aggressive moves for this lead right now. Doucette just all the way up against the wall. And see Kevin King starting to gain on him now, though. Parker White still all over the back bumper of Malik Ray as well, going down into turn 1. He has the outside. Can he use that momentum to his advantage?
Almost.
Oh,
Yep.
Kevin King got really loose.
Look out. That's not the first time we've seen somebody do that. They're coming off turn 2 and down the back straightaway. We saw Blake Reynolds do it, trying to get a stage win there at the end of stage 2. And I think we saw somebody else do it there a little bit after Reynolds did it. So that backs, you know, those straightaways, that can be really tough.
Good on Kevin King to get that settled back out, but now that kind of opens the door for Wyatt Tinsley, who's back in the conversation. Can he get around Kevin King? That's still just an uphill battle, though, as you see Doucette once again just trying to make this high line work, and I'm just not sure if it's working in his advantage here.
Yeah, he may have gotten the outside wall, or he at least got close to it there. 51 laps to go.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna experiment with that kind of a line, I mean, now's the time to do it. You got enough time to rebound. Let's look at Parker White and Malik Ray up front for the lead. Got it.
Parker White, now your race leader here from Las Vegas. 50 laps to go. They've got one more set of pit stops coming up. We'll get it on the other side of this break here on FTF.GG. We're back. 43 laps to go. The race that'll never end. Parker White out in front. We've got one more pit stop for everybody.
And Malik Ray is starting to fall back in this run. He got passed by Kevin King, who has gotten by Ryan Doucette, who has not been loving it over the past back half of this run. He's fallen back to 5th.
Lane Tidwell says he's pitting. Cool. He is not on the lead lap. Oh, okay, he's 31st if he is on the lead lap, but Isaac Johnson will now pit as well. So now I think we're in the window here to pit and then make it to the end.
I mean, I wonder if we'll see anybody attempt some sort of aggressive strategy. But I doubt it. I think you would see at least your top 10, top 15 all stick on the same strategy coming at the same time. Kevin King now is looking to be all over Parker White.
See what they decide to do. Andy Margot coming to pit road. So is Matt Danson. Marcus Siasco. Hawken is in. Oh, Wyatt Tinsley is almost crashing back straightaway. He got really loose again coming off turn number 2 and used the entire back straightaway to catch that number 20. And he is going to stay out. Meanwhile, Ryan Doucette will bring the 77 onto pit road, and it's a black flag of Palooza. Andy Margot, black flag. Matt Danson, black flag. And Cosman's mad because he said he was pitting and somebody still almost ran his ass over. Okay, they did run his ass over. Marcus Siasco, black flag. Speeding on exit.
And I mean,
Kevin King is in. Here's the Cosman deal. Lane Tidwell was the one that hit him. The blue and red car. Bam. Right into the back of him. Malik Ray's coming this time. Here he comes. Nope, never mind. He stays out because Parker White was pitting right in front of him.
And that's
Malik Ray faked us all.
That's the aggressive move I was expecting from Malik Ray.
Yeah,
I love that
maybe he'll
about
pit
him.
this time by. It worked earlier in the race where he stayed out longer than everybody else and then came out in front, just on hair fresher tires. We'll see.
And that's one of my favorite qualities about Malik Ray. He's willing to do anything.
Here it comes.
And he trusts himself to be behind on this pit cycle for some fresher tires. He'll need them after he flat spots all of them getting on.
Zach Johnson bringing the energy, running the broadcast, yawning on air. Good job. Wow. Incredible. Then he curses at us. What a guy.
Zach Johnson for you.
Yeah. $35 to go. Michael P. Frisch is on pit road. Kevin King is going to be your race leader. Where the hell is he at? That's Doucette. That's Kevin, okay. Yep, that's Malik Ray. Kevin King, Neum. Kevin King, your leader.
He's got Ryan Doucette right behind him. Parker White about a second off him, but now, you're going to see Malik Ray in the probably 10th position here. Nah, 9th. He's got a good gap to Kevin. But I mean, he's going to stay here until that fall off hits, and he'll be able to drive around all these guys. We'll see if that 1 lap difference is going to be enough.
35 laps to go.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by Wyatt Tinsley there. I mean, when he almost wrecked off turn 2 and then didn't come in, I thought, that would put him behind. But, he seemed to have rebounded from that really well. And he's only 2.5 seconds off this. See this group of cars out in front of Wyatt Tinsley being Blake Reynolds, Brian Mercurio. Fan of brake.
And let's just look at Malik Ray here fly through this field, cutting through lap traffic. It's by Wyatt Tinsley. That is for position. And here he is now trying to get by Blake Reynolds and Brian Mercurio, 2 guys in the playoff picture.
Yeah, just making it look easy here. Right underneath Brian. Now you see Brandon Hawkins going to be right in front of him. Got fresher tires there. I mean, once again, I mean, just having that trust and ability to stay out a lap later and then trust yourself to make up all this time that you lost. And you see it now, getting past Brandon Hawkins, breaking into the top 4 here. Now he's going to set his sights on Ryan Doucette in 3rd to try to break his way into the top 3, but that's about a second advantage.
Side by side, that's Hawken and Reynolds. Or 5th.
See Hawken falls in line there. Blake Reynolds. And he should be able to rebound okay. Doesn't seem to have too much pressure from Brian Mercurio behind. But look at Malik Ray. I mean, he's all but caught up to this group ahead of him. If Ryan Doucette, I mean, he's to his back bumper now, going to look to the inside, be side by side. Thought Kevin King was going to make a move on Parker White there, but he opts to stay in line. But now you got Malik Ray all over your back bumper. And I mean, this guy has been dominating the latter half of this race. And now he's going to get past Kevin King. And all of a sudden, Malik Ray's back up in the picture, 30 laps to go.
Got just under a 10th, just over a 10th. Parker White to try and take the lead.
Here we go. Malik Ray uses that outside those fresher tires. And now it's all about just trying to drive away now from Parker White. And I mean, already off turn 4, he's gotten about a quarter-second advantage.
And, at this point, I think he's just going to check on out and head to the casino.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good day for him. Betting on himself, and he's come out on top. And now he's just driving away already a half a second now, and it's just, watch that interval just build up. I mean, it's just not even close.
Now Parker White has to try and preserve second place from Kevin King.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that could hurt right now Malik Ray is if they got a caution. If you think back to the spring race here, Dylan Alt was in the same position where he was dominating the race, and a late race caution came out, and he got wrecked on the restart. And I mean, I feel like right now that's the only thing that could really end Malik Ray's chances here, because he is just in a different zip code already. Built the gap to third up to a second. Just leaving this group behind in the dust.
I want to return to baseball for just a second because lol Yankees. The Guardians have walked off in the bottom of the ninth and take a 2-1 lead in the series. The Yankees were up 5-3 and gave up 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth. Guardians. I hope.
Talk about it.
Don't talk about it. Hey, Phillies won.
I miss when the Braves were good. Didn't get 8 runs scored on them.
For that second half of the season last year, yeah, they were top of the third in San Diego. Dodgers lead the Padres 2-0. Padres lead the series 2-1, so hopefully the Padres can figure it out here. I'd much rather play the Padres in the NLCS than the Dodgers. And again, that game was supposed to start back at like 8 o'clock, but had a 2-hour rain delay. That's why they're only in the top of the third. Going to be a long night out west for them, and I believe there will be another game tomorrow, depending on how this game goes. That's currently scheduled for 9:07 in Los Angeles, if there is a Game 5. And Game 4, Yankees-Cleveland, will be at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I won't be watching because the Eagles are on. Probably going to get smoked by Dallas just because it's Dallas. Backup quarterback.
You don't have
Dallas.
any faith? Come on.
It's not that I don't have any faith. It's just I've seen this movie before. I know they're in Philly. It's going to be a low-scoring game, and Cooper Rush is going to magically find the end zone to take the lead late and win the game. I just have a bad fit. I hope I'm wrong, but
hey, this is the revenge year, right? The Eagles
only seem to score in the second quarter. They do not score in any other quarter. So unless they put up 90 in the second quarter before halftime, I'm not convinced that Dallas will lose that game. Battle for second. Back to reality here.
I mean, it's still a fair margin. Kevin King, if he sends it in here, maybe we can consider it a battle.
Inside 20 laps to go.
And Malik Ray, I mean, he drove out to about a 3/4 of a second lead, and it's kind of died down since then. He has been able to keep this margin. It's just he's not pulling away like he was originally. A lot of that probably due to the higher fall affecting all of them about the same right now. It was only a lap margin to Parker White.
Buster folks there. Wyatt Tinsley, Brian Curio, all behind Ryan Doucette. Fourth on back.
Wyatt Tinsley was thinking about making a pass, but he's going to fall back in line, looks like, behind Blake Reynolds. And I mean, we saw earlier there were a few cars, namely Ryan Doucette, were interested in experimenting with different lines, but I mean, I feel like everybody just has now figured out the line that they want to run, which is obviously the bottom, as you can tell. Just really settled in here. Parker White slowly but surely has been catching Malik Ray, as well as Kevin King, who's whittled that lead down to about half a second.
Trouble back straightaway. We've got trouble right in the middle of the back straightaway. There's still no caution. Blake Bryant, now the caution's out. And this changes everything.
Yes, it does.
Blake Bryant contact with the lap car of Tyler Stillwell. I heard them talking about Stillwell a couple laps ago, that he may have been in the way before, and he makes the contact here. Turn Blake Bryant. He was in 13th at the time of the caution.
We'll get a replay right here. You see, just on the top line.
Gets loose.
Yeah, just straight down into Blake Bryant. Nothing you can really do if you're Blake in that situation. He gets it collected. Good 180 from. Is it?
We are under caution, and we're pitting.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said earlier, think back to the spring race. Dylan Alt was dominating that event, and a late race caution came out with, I believe it was like around 20 to go, and got involved in a late race pile up. Wondering if Malik Ray will find himself in a similar situation. You see, I believe Ryan Doucette on our race off pit road.
2 tires from Doucette and from Blake Reynolds. Everybody else takes 4. Strategy.
Strategery.
It's a bold strategy, but it's strategy nonetheless.
I mean, if Ryan Doucette and Blake Reynolds here can conspire against all these guys taking 4 and just block all of the lanes, then maybe they'll have some. But I mean, no. I mean, 2 tires here is honestly. I get what you're going for with the track position, but it's kind of insane to me because I mean, you saw on that last run how easily Malik Ray. It was slicing through these cars that were. It was only about a lap or 2 difference, but he was slicing through them like butter. And he'll be the first car on 4 tires in 3rd. We'll see if Kevin King maybe can try to get around Doucette and Reynolds a little easier and maybe come out with the lead. Parker White will have a chance, but just really interesting from Doucette and Reynolds. Again, I get where they're coming from with the track position, but tires they mean so much.
We are choosing. Here is the choose cone. Exit turn 2, that right there. Inside for Doucette, outside for Reynolds. Reynolds racing. Oh, Malik Ray hit the cone! Malik hit the cone!
And I believe that'll be an end of line penalty. And again, that's what a caution does. I mean, again, was just dominating this race, and all of a sudden he is. I mean, do you consider him out of contention at this point? 13 to go is a sizable amount of time, but at the same time, you're going to have to make up almost 20 spots, and in 13 laps, that's just, even for Malik Ray, is that just an impossible ask? So trying to get our field sorted out. I believe the lap cars, way around cars will get going. So now our leaders will catch up with the pace car.
11 to go on the restart.
I mean, this is just anything you'd ever want right here. It'll be fun to watch Malik Ray on this restart with. I mean, I'm expecting him to put it on the apron 4 wide, trying to get around cars here. I mean, he's just got no time to make up all these spots. But in the meantime, if you're a guy like Kevin King or Brian Mercurio now, you have a great opportunity here to try to get around these two. We'll see on this restart.
Dominant car, Malik Ray, end of longest line after hitting the cone. You have Ryan Doucette and Blake Reynolds out in front for potentially the final restart. 11 laps to go here from Las Vegas. Shot at the championship 4 on the line. Green flag and a bad restart for Blake Reynolds. Stacks up the outside line, headed to turn number 1. They're 3 wide almost as Kevin King had the door slammed shut in his face. And here comes Mercurio to the inside. They are wrecking. Little, Pancari, Robert Dorman. We are wrecking for 25th place, and the caution's out. Why the hell was Alex Little's in the grass?
Yeah, I saw that on the restart there.
Malik Ray got into him, and then he spun it in the grass and back into traffic.
That is just A-class driving there to bring out the 3rd caution of the day.
Not top 10 moment.
You'll see it right here, and I mean, this is what I was talking about. Malik Ray has no time to make up these spots, and we know he has such a fast car. And just a little contact, but I don't understand why you don't just lock up the brakes and keep it down there. I mean, what are you doing? What are we doing?
He did lock up the brakes, but if it was after he was already up in the middle of the racetrack.
I just don't understand how you're in the middle of the grass and you're trying to save the car right there. I mean, you're already in 27th. It's not like you're about to make up spots. I'm not sure.
Well, and for Little is already a lap down. He was a lap down at the time. So, Kari's parked it.
Blake's coming up.
Blake Reynolds is pit. Yeah, that's bonehead move. Throwing away championship points. Trying to pit here. Remember, he took 2 on the last stop for track position. Now he decides, yeah, let's come down to pit road. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna take 2 tires, I mean, you at least got to stick with it like Doucette here. I mean, now you've given up all that track position for, I mean, essentially nothing. And again, I don't get it. Blake Reynolds was only 12 to the good coming in, and Brandon Hawken was 15 out, but he's having a great night. Wyatt Tinsley as well. Kevin's up there in 8th. I mean, outside of Michael Cozy Jr., every driver that was below that cut line coming into tonight is right up in the top 10, and you've just let yourself get passed by all of them trying to get tricky there for the win. But now, I mean, Kevin King's in a tough spot here because he's going to have to start behind Doucette, and Mercurio's going to, if I had to bet, get launched out of a cannon here on this restart with those fresh tires. So, I mean, if you're Kevin King, not only are you battling Doucette, trying to get around him and Mercurio, but you have to also think about Parker White, who's on fresh tires, who's going to be following Mercurio. So, I mean, just a tough spot to be in.
There's the chew.
We'll see it here, yep. Kevin King goes on the top, opts to start behind Mercurio. Probably thinking the same that happened to Blake Reynolds last time.
All right, everybody made the choose that time. Nobody hit the cone. Get a restart with 6 laps to go. One to green.
Yeah, this will be fun right here. Brian Mercurio, Kevin King. They're going to be duking it out here. Parker White, I wonder if we'll see any aggressive move from him. Maybe Doucette shocks us and gets a good start here, but it's going to be difficult trying to defend Brian Mercurio here on the outside. Parker White third, Kevin King fourth, and White, Tinsley in fifth. Tinsley, a real dark horse here. Maybe we see an aggressive move from him, trying to make up championship points on Kevin King and Brian Mercurio, the only 2 playoff drivers ahead of him.
Take 2. Let's hope they don't wreck for 30th this time. 6 laps to go. Doucette Mercurio on the front row for the restart. Green flag. The guys in yellow there on the left are the guys that are in a shot for the playoffs. So they win this race, they're locked into the championship 4. Mercurio is one of them. Kevin King is one of them. Tinsley, McAdams, Hawken, all with a shot. And Blake Reynolds trapped back in traffic.
Kevin King really aggressive right there. Doucette got a great start, and Parker White got right underneath Kevin King, so he desperately wants to try to get around Mercurio. Mercurio going to slide up just a little, 3 wide for second here. Kevin King not giving Mercurio any type of room whatsoever. He's going to be clear of the 41. What a great move from Kevin King.
Been that middle line that's been the best line today, even if it doesn't have the longevity with the tires. Here comes Kevin King around Parker White. He takes over second. He's within a car length. He's on the outside of Ryan Doucette. Doucette doesn't have the momentum on the 2 tires. New leader, Kevin King, trying to lock himself into the championship 4. But here comes Parker White surging back on the outside. He won't get there. We're coming to 4 laps to go.
And that move from Kevin King, I mean, you might have to consider that the MVP move of the race. Not only was he able to get around Brian Mercurio, but now he's put himself in a position to possibly win this race if he can hold off Parker White, but that's not going to be an easy task.
Here comes Parker White, that last time by. Just a little bit slower than Kevin King, but he's right in the tire tracks through 3 and 4. And don't forget about Mercurio and Tinsley. Those are 2 guys in 3rd and 4th that are trying to race their way into the championship and would love for Parker White to catch Kevin King. Make this thing come down to the wire. 3 to go.
See him fanning out back here. Most of these guys just trying to make up spots. Blake Reynolds, he's worked his way back up into the top 10. Good rebound from him. But you see just absolute aggression. Cosman all the way down to the bottom, almost looking 3, 4 wide. Almost contact between Naraki and I believe that was Jordan Worth. Oh, and we got 1 car spinning. I believe that was Doucette.
Yeah, it is. Down on the apron, single car. We stay green, 2 to go. Here comes Parker White to the inside of Kevin King for the lead. They're side by side for 3rd as well. Let's see if Parker White can get the momentum down on the bottom. He stays right to the back bumper. He cannot get there. Coming to the white flag.
Brian Mercurio now. Can he make a shot at Parker White? That's all Kevin King wants to see is those 2 cars get side by side behind him. But we will see white flag from Las Vegas. Kevin King now. Parker White is looking all over the racetrack. Not sure he's going to be able to find it. You see Kevin King running that middle line where he's been best, coming right down the backstretch for the final time.
Here we go. Parker White looks to the inside. Does he have a run? The answer's no. He goes to the outside. Kevin King takes the bottom. Here they come through 3 and 4. Kevin King is going to lock himself into the championship 4 and win at Las Vegas.
And again, that stems back to that move that he made on Brian Mercurio. What a drive from Kevin King. I mean, that was just impressive. I mean, to be able to make it 3 wide like that, absolutely deserved this win after making a move like that.
Kevin King's 3rd win on the season, and perhaps the biggest win on the season, as he will race for a championship at Phoenix in 3 weeks' time, and will not have to worry about having to point his way in, and one of the seats at the table has been set.
Yeah, I mean, this is just huge for point repercussions. I mean, Kevin King was the cut driver coming into tonight, and now he's going to be seated in first going into next week at Homestead, and guys who were in, like Nate Stewart, is going to be on the outside looking in now. And we'll look back. This is what happened to Ryan Doucette. It looks like he just got loose coming off turn 4, and I mean, that happens, but a great job not to slide back up into traffic. And that's the difference right there between 5th and 25th. So he's just going to back it up into the wall. It's out of frustration. But alas.
Yep. Results will scroll across your screen here. In the meantime, let's talk with our 2nd place finisher, since he's already here, Parker White, with Caleb Huffman.
Parker, we saw you try to get something going on Kevin King there. Just wasn't enough. What do you think the difference was tonight?
Yeah, I really think track position was pretty big here. It was really hard to pass because if you tried to pass on the bottom, the guy on the outside could just use the momentum to keep the position. So I knew that whoever got past you set there in that last restart would probably be the winner. And in my opinion, Kevin was the most deserving of that win because right from the start of the green flag, he knew exactly how to manage the tires and how to, like, what pace to run and all that stuff. So it was nice to see him get the win. And I feel like I put a really good race together. In that first run, I kind of burnt off my tires because I really didn't think that it would be that extreme. The tire fall off if you went even remotely hard. So I just took that into account for the rest of the race and managed my tires. And I pit like a lap after Kevin, I think, each time under green. So I knew I'd have some plane room to go a little hard on the beginning of the run and get track position. But if that would have went green to the end, I feel like that would have been very interesting because I felt like Malik, myself, and Kevin had a really good shot at the win because Malik had the fresher tires, but I felt like he burnt them off more, and I saved my tires because I used the fresh tires to get past Kevin in the start, and then I just parked it and saved. So overall, a really good race and really fun to drive.
And I mean, again, I mean, it felt like tires were just the name of the game tonight. I mean, we saw you chase down Malik, and then obviously he had that whole cone fiasco, and then all of a sudden it was you were right behind Doucette. I mean, just what was going through your head on that last restart once you saw Kevin King shoot out of a rocket and get past Mercurio?
Yeah, and like I said before, track position was key, so I was just focused on keeping my momentum up and not trying to lose any time. So I saw opportunity to get up in line in front of Brian there, so I took that opportunity and I followed Kevin through, and then from there I did all I could to try to get past Kevin. But yeah, it was just, I wouldn't really say it was too much track position dependent, like especially in the long runs, but yeah, a really good race overall.
Well, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Congratulations. Strong run tonight.
Yep, thank you.
Now with Parker White, we'll try to get, believe, Brian Mercurio. There's Brian. Well, you had a great shot on that last restart, but Kevin, made it 3 wide on you. What do you think the difference was there for you in that number 41 tonight?
I don't know. Just definitely drove it a little too deep going into 3 and just got tight and washed up the track there. That's all. So used to running on old tires. I don't know. Just drove it wrong. Had everything go right for me. Got a little lucky break with Malik getting the UL penalty on the choose cone. So I was in prime position there, and being on the outside with Ryan on 2, I knew I was going to be in a good spot, and just kind of threw it away, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, despite that, still third tonight. You were second coming into tonight. I mean, how does this play for you in points going into Homestead and then Martinsville?
Wish I could have gotten the win. It would have been real nice. But I think we're going to be the highest non-Kevin, considering he has a win now. So don't think it was the best night for Nate Stewart. So I think I made up a bunch of points on him. Everybody else I'd have to look afterwards. I'm not really too sure, but did okay in the stages. Kevin basically sweeped everything, so got max points plus the win. So he can kick his feet up and kind of chill for the next 2 races if he really wants to. Just gonna kind of focus on getting as many points as possible. Tonight was all right. Could have been better, but here's what it is.
Absolutely, and we'll hopefully be talking to you after Homestead next week. Congratulations on a 3rd place tonight. Good run for you.
All right, appreciate it, boys. Thanks for putting on the broadcast. Everyone over at FTF. Wish I could have been talking about a win, but I'll take a podium. Not too shabby.
Brian Mercurio, driver of the number 41, comes home 3rd tonight. And now we have the winner, Kevin King, tonight. And talk of the town right now is that 3 wide move you made for 2nd, which eventually would put you in place to win. How does it feel to be locked in?
It feels awesome. It's mainly because it's going to go to, I think it's probably my best track, my favorite track. But I told Brian I wasn't even looking to go 3 wide, but I guess he got really tight for some reason. And I was just kind of putting my car there mainly to keep it tight on Parker to get a run. And for whatever reason, he got real tight, and I just kind of slid on through there. But it wasn't really my intention to try to put him 3 wide. He just, for some reason, got real tight, and there was just an avenue for me to go. And thankfully, finally, it worked out my way.
Yeah, I mean, now you can throw Homestead, you can throw Martinsville, anything you had going, just throw it out of the book and focus purely on Phoenix. You were in the Final 4 last year. I mean, what's going through your head to try to come home with a championship now?
I'm hoping it doesn't turn to another fuel mileage race. That's what bit me last year. I felt like I was driving really well, and ended up being a fuel mileage race. So yeah, it's really nice not to have to, because I was like 4th in the on the cutoff. So being able to just not really worry about how I finish at Martinsville, because you know how that could be, and then Homestead is another one of these type of racetracks where anything can happen type of thing. So it's nice to be able to just not really worry about it and just kind of focus on Phoenix and maybe run some laps beforehand to see how that goes for me. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped because I don't think I got into the Final 4 last time. I had to fight for it, and it's finally nice to not have to worry about the next 2 races.
Absolutely. Well, that's Kevin King, winner of tonight. He's locked into Phoenix, doesn't have to worry about the next 2 races, but alas, hopefully we'll be talking to you next week. Have a good one.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Send it back to you, Jacob.
Send it right back to you. Final thoughts here from Vegas.
Well, obviously it was all about having some tires tonight. We saw some gutsy strategy calls. Really interested to see how that's going to affect Blake Reynolds, who was able to rebound. He broke back inside of the top 10, which could have been disastrous. But now going into Homestead, the points picture is just completely shifted, because now Nate Stewart, Michael Cozy Jr., it's not looking good for them. Whereas for guys like Kevin King, obviously locked in, Brian Mercurio had a great night. Tinsley, Hawken, and Adams were all in the thick of it all night. So I'm just interested to see how that momentum carries on, and it'll be good for sure.
Just have to wait and see. A quick look at the points. Blake Reynolds up by 20 points on the cut line. He is the cut line. Brandon Hawkin, 20 points out in 5th. Then McAdams, 31 out. Nate Stewart, 76 out. Michael Cozy Jr., even with the last place provisional, 136 points out. He's going to have a big hole to dig out of here in these next 2 races. We're at Homestead next week, Martinsville in 2 weeks, before we wrap up the season at Phoenix. For Zach Johnson, our producer, and Caleb Hoffman alongside me, I'm Jacob Pitts. We'll see you next week from Homestead. Good night.